There is a unique silence that falls upon a house in the middle of the night. It is not an empty silence. It is a full silence, weighted with everything the noise of the day keeps at bay. And in this deep, quiet dark, a particular feeling can surface. It isn't loud. It's more like a quiet ache, a cold thread that weaves its way through the warmth of your blankets. It is the fear that time is a current pulling you away, and that the distance between you and your children is growing wider than just the miles. It is the deep, unspoken dread that you might not get to see them again. And so the question arises in the stillness, not in words, but as a pressure in the chest. How do we find peace when the people who are our very heart are so far away, and the future feels so uncertain? Over the course of our time together, we will explore this question not as a problem to be solved, but as a mystery of love to be understood. We will discover that connection is not limited by what our eyes can see or what our hands can hold. We will find a way to let a deep and abiding peace settle over this fear, allowing you to rest in the truth of a love that time cannot diminish and distance cannot break. For now, let's begin right where you are, in this bed, in this room, in this quiet moment. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing you need to fix or figure out. Your only task is to allow the weight of your body to be held completely by the mattress beneath you. Feel that support, the solid, unwavering presence holding you. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your own breathing. You don't need to change it or control it in any way. Just observe it. This quiet, steady rhythm has been with you your entire life, a faithful companion through every joy and every sorrow. It is the rhythm of life itself, moving through you. As you settle into this rhythm, let's gently turn our awareness to the body. Often, this quiet ache of distance doesn't just live in our thoughts. It takes up residence in our bodies. Where do you feel it? Is it a tightness in your jaw? A clenching from a day spent holding things together? If you notice that, just allow your jaw to soften. Let your tongue rest gently on the roof of your mouth. Perhaps you feel it in your shoulders, hunched slightly forward as if carrying a heavy, invisible weight. Can you allow them to drop, just a fraction of an inch? Releasing a burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. Let them melt downward, away from your ears. Feel the space that opens up around your neck and your upper back. This is the space of letting go. Maybe the feeling lives in your chest, a tightness around your heart, like a shield you've put up to protect yourself from the full force of this longing. With your next exhale, imagine that shield softening. Imagine it becoming porous, allowing your breath to move through it freely. You don't need to force anything. Just the gentle intention to soften is enough. This process isn't about forcing relaxation. It is about permission. Giving yourself permission to release the tension of the day, the worries, the planning, the constant mental effort of navigating a life that feels complicated. All of that can be set down now, just for a while. Place it gently beside the bed. You can pick it up again tomorrow if you must, but for tonight, you are free of it. The intention for our journey tonight is simple. It is to find a sanctuary within yourself, a place of peace that is not dependent on a future reunion or a particular conversation. It is a peace that can coexist with the sadness of missing someone. It is a peace that understands the vastness of your love and honors the fear that is born from it. We are setting out to connect with a form of love that transcends the physical. a love that travels on the quiet frequencies of the heart, unhindered by geography or the ticking of a clock. It is a connection that already exists deep within you, waiting to be remembered. Think of it this way. For most of the day, we live on the surface of our lives. We are busy with tasks, conversations, logistics. We are managing the world. But at night, in the quiet, we sink beneath that surface. We drift down into the deeper waters of our being, where the great silent currents of love and fear reside. Tonight, we will not fight these currents. We will learn to float in them, to trust their wisdom, and to let them carry us toward a shore of profound and healing rest. The first step is simply to acknowledge the ache without judgment. This longing you feel is not a weakness. It is not a sign of despair. It is a testament to the immense love you hold. It is, in its own way, a sacred feeling. It is the echo of a bond that has shaped your very life. By allowing yourself to feel it here in this safe space, you are honoring that bond. You are honoring your child, and you are honoring the beautiful, powerful heart that beats within your own chest. So let go of any need to be strong right now. Let go of the story that you should be handling this better. There is no better way to handle a love this big. There is only the truth of what you feel in this moment. And in this moment, you are simply here, breathing, softening, and beginning a journey back to the unshakable truth that love is the most real thing there is, and it is with you and within you right now. Allow the gentle rhythm of your breath to guide you deeper now into a state of peace and receptivity. Each breath in is an invitation to calm. Each breath out is a release of tension. In and out. There's nothing more to do. Just allow. Just be. And let this journey into peace begin. Let's gently go a little deeper now into that quiet space we've created. Here, in the safety of the dark, we can afford to be honest with ourselves. We can look at the shape of the fear that visits in the lonely hours. It's a very specific fear, isn't it? It's not a vague anxiety about the end of life. It is the sharp, visceral, and deeply personal fear of dying before the next reunion, before one more hug, before the chance to see their face again, not on a screen, but in person, with the light in their eyes and the familiar sound of their laughter filling the room. It is the fear of the story ending mid-sentence. Let's give it a name, this silent panic. Let's call it the fear of the unfinished visit, the fear of the last goodbye already having happened, without either of you knowing it. It rises so quickly, doesn't it? It can be triggered by the smallest thing, an unexplained ache in your chest that lingers for a moment too long, a sudden dizzy spell when you stand up too fast, a news story about someone your age, or perhaps the most common trigger of all, a simple, unanswered phone call, a text message sent hours ago, still showing as delivered but not read. In that gap of silence, the mind can build a cathedral of dread. The rational part of you knows there are 1,000 perfectly ordinary reasons for the delay. They're busy. They're driving. Their phone is in another room. But another, much older part of you, the part that is wired for love and connection, interprets the silence as a threat. And in that moment, the fear awakens. It's a cold flush that starts in the stomach and spreads outward. The heart might skip a beat or begin to pound a little faster. The breath becomes shallow, caught in the top of your chest, and the thoughts begin to spiral, painting vivid pictures of worst-case scenarios, not just for them, but for you. The sudden, terrifying thought, what if something happens to me before they write back? What if our last exchange was about something trivial, like the weather, or a reminder to pay a bill? This is the silent panic. It operates just beneath the surface of your composure. During the day, you can push it down, distract yourself, stay busy. But at night, there are no distractions. There is only you and the vast, quiet darkness, and the fear has room to expand. It whispers the most painful questions. Will they know how much I loved them? Will they remember the good times? Or will the recent difficulties cast a shadow over everything? Will they carry the weight of unspoken words for the rest of their lives? For tonight, our purpose is not to answer these questions. It is not to argue with the fear or to banish it. That is a battle you have likely fought many times, and it is exhausting. Instead, we are going to do something radical. We are simply going to witness it. Imagine you can take this fear and gently place it in the palm of your hand. It's not a monster. It's not an enemy. Look at it closely. See its texture, its weight, its shape. It might feel heavy, dense, and cold. It might tremble with a nervous energy. Whatever it is, just observe it. You are not the fear. You are the one who is holding it. You are the warm, steady hand, providing a space for this frightened energy to simply be. As you hold it, you can say to it, silently in your heart, I see you. I know you are here. You are allowed to be here for a little while. This is an act of profound compassion for yourself. For too long, you have probably told yourself that this fear is irrational, that you need to be stronger, that you shouldn't think such morbid thoughts. But what if that has only made it hide deeper in the shadows, growing more powerful in the dark? By bringing it into the gentle light of your awareness, you are changing your relationship with it. You are no longer its victim, tossed about by its sudden appearances. You are becoming its witness, its calm and loving caretaker. The fear itself is just energy. It is the story we attach to the energy that causes the suffering. The story is one of loss, regret, and powerlessness. But for now, we can let the story go. We can just be with the raw sensation, the tightness in the chest, the coolness in the veins. Breathe into it. Imagine your breath is a warm, soft blanket that can wrap around this feeling. Your breath says, you don't need to struggle anymore. I am here with you. We will get through this. This simple act of allowing, of witnessing without judgment, is the beginning of healing. It stops the cycle of panic. The fear rises. You notice it. You panic about the panic, and it spirals. Tonight, we break that cycle. The fear rises, and we meet it with a quiet, compassionate curiosity. Ah, there you are again. We can say to it, my old companion, the reminder of how deeply I love. We are not trying to make it disappear. We are simply creating enough space around it so that it doesn't consume us, like a dark cloud in a vast sky. The cloud is present, yes, but the sky is infinitely larger. You are the sky, your awareness, your capacity for love, your deep inner stillness. That is the sky. The fear is just a weather pattern passing through. So just for these next few moments, allow yourself to be the sky. Vast, open, and at peace, holding whatever weather comes and goes. The tightness in the chest is a cloud. The racing thoughts are a gust of wind. The cold dread is a patch of fog. And you, the sky, remain unharmed, unchanged, present. This is your true nature. And it is from this place of vast, peaceful awareness that we can begin to understand the fear, not as an enemy, but as a guide, pointing us back toward the immense power of our own love. Rest in this knowing. There is nothing to fight. There is only this moment, this breath, and the gentle space of your own loving presence. As we rest in this space of quiet awareness, holding the fear gently, another layer often reveals itself. Beneath the visceral panic of an ending, there is a more subtle, persistent ache. It is the weight of the last conversation, the last email, the last text message exchange. The mind, in its search for certainty and control, will often seize upon that last point of contact and play it on a loop. It becomes a piece of evidence, scrutinized under the harsh light of fear. Was it enough? Was it the right thing to say? Was the tone right? Did I sound distracted? Did they? This is a heavy, heavy weight to carry into the stillness of the night. The loop of memory can be relentless. Perhaps the last conversation was perfectly ordinary, mundane even. You talked about the weather, or car repairs, or a problem at work. It was functional, a routine check-in. And now, in the dark, the mind screams, "That was it? That was the last thing? We didn't talk about anything that mattered." A profound sense of a missed opportunity can settle in, a feeling of having failed a test you didn't even know you were taking. The desire for a do-over can be overwhelming. Oh, to have that moment back, to say something meaningful, to make sure they knew, without a shadow of a doubt, the depth of your love. Or perhaps the last interaction was more difficult. Maybe it was a disagreement, born of the friction that naturally occurs in any real long-term relationship. Sharp words were exchanged, or maybe just a cold silence hung on the line. Old hurts were poked, misunderstandings flared up. You both hung up feeling frustrated, or sad, or angry. At the time, you may have thought, "We'll sort it out later. We always do." But now, in the quiet of the night, later feels like a fragile promise. The fear latches onto the conflict and magnifies it, turning a temporary rift into a permanent chasm. The loop that plays now is one of regret. Why did I say that? Why couldn't I have just let it go? What if that's the memory they are left with of me? This is a unique form of torment, and it's essential that we acknowledge it with deep compassion. The ache you feel is not an overreaction. It is a direct and valid expression of your core values. It comes from a deep, instinctual human need for peace, connection, and resolution. We are wired to seek harmony in our most important relationships. We want the story of our love to end on a note of grace. The thought of it ending on a sour note, a moment of discord, feels utterly unbearable. It feels like a fundamental violation of the love that defines you. So, when you find yourself replaying that last conversation, don't scold yourself for it. Don't tell yourself you're being dramatic. Instead, try to see the beautiful intention behind the painful loop. The reason it hurts so much is because you care so much. The reason you long for a different final memory is because you cherish the connection so deeply. The pain is a testament to the love. Let's validate this feeling right now. It is profoundly and heartbreakingly normal to want the last memory to be one of pure love. It's a desire for a perfect final photograph, a beautiful last sentence in a long and cherished book. It's the desire for your child's final emotional impression of you to be one of safety, warmth, and unconditional acceptance. Of course you want that. Who wouldn't? That desire is pure and good and born of the deepest love a heart can hold. Acknowledging this allows us to stop fighting with the feeling. We can let go of the self-judgment and simply be with the sadness of it. The sadness of an imperfect conversation. The sadness of unspoken words. The sadness of the human condition, which is that we rarely know when the last time will be the last time. We can allow ourselves to grieve this lack of a perfect ending. Let the sadness be there. Feel it in your body. It might be a lump in your throat, a hollow feeling in your stomach. Just breathe with it. Your breath becomes a gentle companion to the grief, holding it without needing it to go away. By allowing the feeling, we rob it of its frantic looping power. The thoughts might still arise. I should have said this, or I wish I hadn't said that. But now, we can see them for what they are. Expressions of love. Every regretful thought is a signpost pointing back to the vastness of your love. Each if only is a testament to your devotion. You can look at these thoughts and say, yes, I know. You are here because I love them so much. Thank you for reminding me. This shifts everything. The mental loop is no longer a stick you are beating yourself with. It becomes a prayer, a mantra of love. Each remembered flaw in the conversation is just another facet of your deep caring. And in this understanding, a sliver of peace can enter. You begin to realize that this fear, this obsession with the last conversation, is not about a single moment in time. It's about the entire relationship. It's about your profound desire for your child to feel, now and forever, the full, complete, and unconditional nature of your love. That is the core issue. And the good news, the deeply comforting news that we will continue to explore, is that this kind of deep knowing is not built in a single conversation. It has already been built over a lifetime. The foundation is already there, solid and deep. The last conversation is just a single stone placed on top of a mighty fortress of love that you have been building, day by day, year by year, since the moment they were born. Rest in that thought for a moment. A lifetime of love is not defined by a single, imperfect moment. Let that truth begin to settle, like a soft blanket, over the sharp edges of regret. Let it soothe the ache of the memory loop. The work of love has already been done. It is already complete. Let's stay with this emerging sense of peace for a while and explore its source. For so long, you may have viewed this fear, this deep, nightly anxiety about not seeing them again, as a kind of weakness, a flaw in your character, a sign that you are not resilient, not trusting, or not brave enough. You might have told yourself to snap out of it, to be more positive, or to stop worrying so much. But tonight, we are going to completely dismantle that belief. We are going to reframe this fear, not as a weakness, but as a direct and powerful measure of an immense and unconditional love. Consider this. You do not feel this kind of fear for a casual acquaintance. You do not lie awake at night tormented by the thought of not seeing a distant cousin or a former coworker again. This specific soul-deep ache is reserved for a very small, very sacred circle of people. It is a fear that is born exclusively from the deepest wellsprings of love in the human heart. It cannot exist without that love. The fear is the shadow, and the love is the brilliant, blazing sun that casts it. The size of the shadow is directly proportional to the brightness of the light. Therefore, the immense size of your fear is actually a testament to the staggering immensity of your love. Let that sink in. Your fear is not your enemy. It is not a pathology. It is evidence. It is proof of the incredible heart you have, a heart capable of a love so vast and so profound that the thought of its physical interruption feels like the end of the world. Of course you feel this way. Of course it hurts this much. A love this big deserves to be honored, and the fear of its loss is part of that honor. It is the price of admission for loving someone so completely. To love deeply is to make yourself vulnerable to the pain of potential loss. There is no other way. The fear is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you have done something profoundly right. You have dared to love another human being with everything you have. Think about the journey of that love. It began as a fierce protective instinct, a primal bond that ensured their survival. You were their world, their source of safety, comfort, and nourishment. As they grew, your love had to adapt. It became the love of a teacher, a guide, a patient listener. You celebrated their first steps, their first words, their first friendships. You soothed their scraped knees, their broken hearts, their moments of doubt. Your love was the steady ground beneath their feet, the constant star by which they could navigate. Then they grew even more, and your love had to transform again. It had to become a love that could let go, a love that could watch them walk out the door and into their own lives, their own adventures, their own mistakes. This is perhaps the hardest transformation of all for a parent's love. It requires a unique kind of strength to keep your heart wide open while your arms have to let go. The distance you feel now, whether it is miles on a map or the emotional distance of separate busy lives, is a part of this journey. And the fear that arises from that distance is the echo of all those previous forms of love. It is the echo of the primal protective instinct. It is the echo of the guiding hand. It is the echo of the ache of letting go. All of that history, all of that devotion is concentrated into the feeling you experience in the middle of the night. It's not just a fear of the future. It's the accumulated weight and beauty of a lifetime of loving. So, let's make an affirmation together. A new truth to replace the old story of weakness. You can say it silently to yourself, letting the words resonate in your heart. My fear is a measure of my love. My capacity to feel this pain is a testament to my capacity to love this deeply. My heart is not broken, it is vast. Feel the shift that this new perspective brings. It takes the sharp, serrated edge off the fear. It transforms it from an antagonist into a companion. A sad, worried companion, perhaps, but one that is fundamentally on your side. One that is rooted in the best and most beautiful part of you. You can look at this fear now with a sense of gratitude even. Thank you, you can say to it. Thank you for reminding me how much I love. Thank you for showing me the depth of my own heart. This doesn't mean the fear will vanish instantly, but it does mean you are no longer at war with a part of yourself. You are bringing all of yourself into a state of acceptance and integration. You are honoring the whole truth of your experience, the beautiful, brilliant love, and the dark, aching fear that is its shadow. They belong together. They are two sides of the same precious coin. By normalizing this experience, you release yourself from the lonely prison of thinking you are the only one who feels this way. Every parent who has ever loved a child and watched them move out into the world knows this feeling. It is a universal chapter in the story of human love. You are part of a great, unseen community of hearts that understand this particular blend of pride, joy, and deep, aching love. You are not alone in this feeling. Your experience is valid. Your pain is a sacred expression of your love, and your capacity to hold both the love and the pain is a sign of your incredible, beautiful human strength. So rest in that. Rest in the knowledge that your heart is working perfectly. It is doing exactly what a heart is supposed to do when it loves this much. It is loving, and it is grieving the distance, and it is magnificent in its capacity for both. Now that we have honored the fear as a measure of your love, let's gently zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So often, in the isolating quiet of the night, this feeling of distance can curdle into self-blame. The mind starts to create stories, casting you as the one who failed. I should have done more to keep them close. Maybe if I had been a different kind of parent, they wouldn't have moved so far away. It's my fault we don't talk more. These narratives of personal failure are incredibly painful, and they are almost always untrue. They shrink a vast and complex reality down to a single, sharp point of blame, aimed directly at your own heart. Tonight, we are going to release this burden of self-blame by acknowledging the intricate and complicated map of modern life. It is not a personal failure that has created this distance. It is the tangled, messy, beautiful, and challenging reality of the world we live in. Think of the external factors, the great currents that pull families in different directions. There are the demands of careers, the pursuit of education in specialized fields that only exist in certain cities. There is the call of adventure, the desire to see the world and build a life in a new place. There is the simple, practical reality of the cost of living, which often forces people to move far from home to find affordable housing and opportunities for their own families. These are not small things. They are powerful forces that shape the geographies of our lives and our relationships. Then there are the complex internal dynamics that exist in every family. There is pride on both sides that can make it hard to pick up the phone after a disagreement. There are old hurts, patterns of communication learned in childhood, that can sometimes create friction and misunderstanding. There are the differing needs for closeness and autonomy. Sometimes, a child's need to forge their own identity requires them to create a certain amount of distance, not as a rejection of you, but as a necessary step in their own becoming. It is rarely as simple as they don't care enough, or I did something wrong. The truth is a complex tapestry woven from 1,000 different threads of circumstance, personality, history, and love. Let's use an analogy here. Imagine your life and your child's life as two ships. For many years, your ships sailed side by side in the same protected harbor. You navigated the same waters, weathered the same storms, and were moored to the same dock each night. It was a time of beautiful, simple proximity. But as their ship grew stronger and more seaworthy, it was destined to leave the harbor. It had its own journey to make, its own map to follow. Now, your two ships are sailing on different currents, in different parts of the vast ocean of life. Sometimes the currents bring you closer, and you can see each other clearly across the water. Other times, the currents pull you far apart, and you might go for long stretches, seeing only the horizon. In the dead of night, it can feel like your ship is alone, lost in an endless sea. The fear tells you that the distance is permanent, that the other ship is gone forever. But the truth is this: you are still part of the same vast, connected ocean. The same water that laps against your hull also touches theirs. The same sun warms your deck. and theirs. The same moon and stars chart your courses. The connection is not broken just because you are out of sight of each other. The shared history, the shared love, the shared identity of family. This is the ocean itself. It is the very medium in which you both exist. The physical distance is just a temporary state, a matter of navigation and currents, not a measure of the fundamental connection that exists in the deep. Releasing self-blame is about accepting that you are not the captain of their ship. You never were, not really. You were the master boat builder. You gave them a strong hull, a sturdy mast, and a reliable rudder. You taught them how to read the stars and how to tie the knots. You filled their ship with the provisions of love, wisdom, and resilience. But the course they sail is their own, and the choices they make about where to go are not a reflection on your work as the builder. In fact, the very fact that they feel confident enough to sail into far-off waters is a testament to the quality of the vessel you helped them create. You built a ship capable of exploring the world. What a magnificent achievement. So let's gently release the weight of should-haves and if-onlys. Let that heavy anchor of self-blame slip from your hands and sink into the deep, dark water, down into the silence of the ocean floor. Feel the lightness in your own ship as that weight is released. Feel yourself floating a little higher in the water. You are not responsible for the currents of the economy. You are not responsible for the geography of opportunity. You are not responsible for the complex inner journey of another human being, even one you love more than life itself. All you have ever been responsible for is loving them. And that you have done. You have done it imperfectly, because all human love is imperfect, but you have done it with the fullness of your heart. That is the only thing that has ever truly been within your control, and it is more than enough. Rest in this broader perspective. See the map of your lives not as a tragedy of distance, but as a grand, sprawling adventure. Two ships, built in the same harbor of love, now exploring the magnificent, mysterious, and sometimes lonely ocean of life. You are forever connected by the waters you both sail upon. The connection is real. It is deep. And it does not depend on being able to see each other every day. It is a bond made of something far more enduring than proximity. It is a bond made of love. As we let go of the heavy anchor of self-blame, a new space opens up within us. It is a tender space, a quiet space. And into this space, we can finally give ourselves permission for something we may have been resisting for a very long time. Permission to simply grieve the distance, not to fix it, not to solve it, not to push it away, but to allow the pure, uncomplicated sadness of it to be felt. For so long, you may have been telling yourself you need to be strong. You have responsibilities, a life to lead, an appearance of composure to maintain. You tell yourself that crying about it won't change anything, that it's just the way things are. So you push the sadness down, you swallow the lump in your throat, you hold back the tears that prickle at the corners of your eyes. But held back grief is heavy. It doesn't disappear. It solidifies inside of us, turning into a tightness in the chest, a chronic tension in the shoulders, a persistent feeling of exhaustion that no amount of sleep can seem to cure. It becomes a kind of emotional armor. And while that armor might feel like it's protecting you, it is also preventing you from feeling the full range of your own life. And it's cutting you off from the tender, healing currents of your own heart. Tonight, we are going to create a safe, internal sanctuary. where it is okay to take that armor off, just for a little while. Here, in the quiet dark, no one is watching. No one is judging. You don't have to be strong for anyone. You can just be. You can just feel. Let's begin by bringing your attention back to your breath. Your breath is your most faithful anchor in the present moment. Notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, cool and fresh. Follow it as it travels down into your lungs, filling you with life. And then notice the release as you exhale, the warm air leaving your body. With each breath, you are creating a rhythm of safety, a gentle rocking motion within your own being. In and out, a quiet, steady wave of life. Now let's use this breath as a tool for gentle release. As you breathe in, I want you to imagine you're breathing into the place in your body where you hold this sadness. For many of us, that's the center of the chest, the area around the heart. Imagine your in-breath is a soft, warm, healing light flowing directly to that spot. It doesn't try to force anything open. It simply surrounds the tightness with warmth and compassion. And as you exhale, I want you to give yourself permission to let go. Just a little. Imagine that with the warm air leaving your body, a little bit of that tightness can dissolve and flow out with it. You don't have to push. You don't have to force. It's just a gentle intention. Breathing in warmth and compassion. Breathing out a little bit of the held back grief. Let's stay with this for a few cycles of breath. Inhaling softness. Exhaling release. You may notice sensations arising as you do this. A trembling in your lip. A sudden warmth behind your eyes. The familiar, aching lump forming in your throat. If tears come, let them. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of release. They are the body's natural way of letting go of pent-up emotional energy. They are liquid grief, and allowing them to flow is a profound act of self-kindness. Each tear that falls is a piece of the heavy armor melting away. Let them stream down your temples and into your hair. There's no need to wipe them away. Just allow this natural, healing process to unfold. You are safe. You are held. This is your time to feel. The sadness of physical separation is real, and it is valid. It is the sadness of not being there for the small moments. The shared cup of coffee in the morning, the spontaneous walk in the park, the simple comfort of being in the same room, reading in comfortable silence. It's the grief of missing the sound of their key in the door. It's the sorrow of holidays that feel a little emptier. Birthdays celebrated over a video call that flickers and freezes. These are not small losses. They are the texture of a life lived together, and their absence creates a real and palpable void. It is okay to mourn this. It is healthy to mourn this. It is an act of honoring the importance of that connection. By allowing yourself to feel this sadness now, you are not surrendering to it. You are not drowning in it. You are moving through it. Grief is like a wave. If you stand rigid and fight it, it will knock you over. But if you can soften and allow it to wash over you, it will pass. It will cleanse you, and it will leave you standing on the shore, feeling lighter, clearer, and more at peace. The pressure to be strong is a cage. It keeps you trapped with your unexpressed sorrow. The permission to feel is the key that unlocks the door. So in this quiet, sacred moment, give yourself that key. Give yourself the gift of your own compassion. Whisper to yourself, it's okay to be sad about this. It's okay to miss them this much. My heart is allowed to feel what it feels. There is so much freedom in that simple acknowledgement. It's the freedom to be human, the freedom to be authentic, the freedom to honor the full spectrum of your love, which includes both the radiant joy of connection and the deep, aching sorrow of distance. Keep breathing, keep softening, allow the wave to move. There is a deep peace waiting for you on the other side of this release, a calm that comes only after the storm of held-back emotion is allowed to pass. Just allow, just be. You are doing the brave and necessary work of healing. Having allowed the wave of grief to move, we find ourselves on a quieter shore. The air feels clearer. The tightness in the chest has softened. In this new, open space, we can begin to introduce a gentle, transformative idea. It is the idea that love is not merely an emotion we feel, but an energy that we broadcast. It is a force that transcends the limitations of physical space and the linear progression of time. The connection you have with your child is not dependent on proximity. It is not severed by miles or silenced by a lack of daily conversation. It exists on a deeper, more fundamental level, like an invisible signal that is always being sent and always, on some level, being received. Let's explore this, not as a philosophical concept, but as a felt experience. I invite you to bring your attention, once again, to the area around your heart. And this time, instead of focusing on the ache of absence, let's focus on the feeling of love itself. Go back in your memory to a moment when your love for your child was so powerful, it felt like it could light up a room. Perhaps it was the moment you first held them, that overwhelming rush of pure, unconditional devotion. Maybe it was watching them sleep as a small child, their face so peaceful, your heart swelling with a fierce, protective tenderness. Or maybe it was a more recent moment, a flash of pride seeing them succeed, a shared laugh that made you both cry, a moment of profound understanding that passed between you without a word. Choose one of these memories. Don't just think about it. Allow yourself to feel it again in your body, right now. Let the emotional resonance of that moment fill you. Feel the warmth spreading through your chest. Feel the slight smile that might be forming on your lips. Feel the physical sensation of love. This feeling, this warmth, this expansive energy. This is what is real. This is the signal. It has never gone away. It is the steady, broadcasting frequency of your heart. Now, I want you to imagine that this warm, loving energy is not contained within your body. Imagine it as a soft, glowing light radiating from the center of your chest. With every beat of your heart, this light pulses gently, sending waves of love, peace, and well-wishing out into the world. It's not an effort. You don't have to force it. It is the natural, effortless byproduct of your love. It is simply what your heart does. Now, in your mind's eye, picture your child, wherever they are right now. Don't worry about the details of their surroundings. Just hold a sense of them in your awareness. See their face, their smile. And as you hold them in your mind, imagine this soft, warm light from your heart extending out, creating a luminous, unbreakable bridge of love that connects your heart directly to theirs. This bridge is not made of matter. It is made of energy. It is not limited by distance. It can cross continents and oceans in an instant. It is not blocked by busy schedules or emotional walls. It operates on a frequency that bypasses all of that. It is a direct, heart-to-heart connection. Feel the reality of this connection. Feel the gentle, steady flow of love moving from you along this bridge of light and reaching them. You are sending them everything your heart wants to say, but without words. You are sending them your unwavering support. You are sending them your pride in who they have become. You are sending them your deepest wishes for their happiness, their safety, and their peace. This is not just wishful thinking. Think of it like this. Love, like gravity, is a fundamental force. We cannot see gravity, but we feel its effects constantly. It holds us to the Earth. It keeps the planets in their orbits. In the same way, love is a fundamental organizing force in the universe. The focused intention of a loving heart has a real, though subtle, effect. It creates a resonance, an energetic signature that is felt on a subconscious, intuitive level. Your child may not consciously know, my parent is thinking of me with love right now. But on a deeper level, in the quiet, intuitive part of their being, the signal is received. It might manifest as a sudden, unexplained feeling of comfort, a moment of peace in a stressful day, a sense of being supported, even when they feel alone, a dream that leaves them with a feeling of warmth upon waking. The love you are sending is never wasted. It is always received. It becomes part of the energetic environment around them, a subtle force for good in their lives, a constant reminder of the safe harbor they have in your heart. Stay with this visualization for a few more moments. Feel the beautiful, effortless flow of love across this bridge of light. There is no strain, no struggle. It is as natural as breathing. This is what your heart was designed to do. Notice how focusing on sending love, rather than on the ache of missing them, changes the feeling in your own body. The ache might still be there, but it is now held within a much larger feeling of active, purposeful connection. You are no longer a passive victim of distance. You are an active participant in a relationship that transcends the physical. You are tending to the energetic bond that is the true foundation of your relationship. This is a profound and empowering shift. You have a way to be with them, to nurture them, and to love them right now, from right where you are. This bridge of love in the quiet is always available to you. Anytime you feel the pang of missing them, you can close your eyes, feel the warmth in your heart, and send your light across the bridge. It is a practice that can transform the pain of separation into an act of deep and meaningful connection. Rest in this beautiful, flowing energy. Let it be the last thing you are aware of as you drift closer to sleep. You are connected, you are loving, and you are being loved in return. The signal is always on. The bridge is always there. As you rest in the warmth of this energetic connection, this bridge of light between your heart and theirs, let's take this healing one step further. We have acknowledged the pain of the last conversation, the looping regret over things left unsaid or things said imperfectly. The beauty of this quiet meditative space is that it offers us an opportunity to have a new conversation, one that is not limited by phone lines, time zones, or even the awkwardness and pride that can sometimes get in the way of our words. We can speak directly from our heart to theirs. This is a gentle, guided visualization, a chance to say what truly needs to be said, and to feel the profound release that comes from that heart-to-heart communication. So, continue to hold that image of your child in your mind's eye. See them in a place where they are calm and receptive. Perhaps they are sleeping peacefully in their own bed, their defenses down, their heart open in the vulnerability of dreams. Or maybe you see them sitting quietly, looking out a window, in a moment of peaceful contemplation. The setting doesn't matter, only the feeling of their receptive presence. You are not intruding. You are being invited into the quiet space of their soul, a space that always holds a connection to you. Now, imagine your own consciousness, your loving awareness, sitting with them in this peaceful space. You are not there in your physical body, but as a presence of pure, unconditional love, a warm, comforting light. From this place, you can finally say the things that weigh on your heart. There are 4 essential messages that human beings long to give and receive from one another, the 4 cornerstones of a complete and healed relationship. They are, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm sorry, and thank you. Let's take a moment with each one. First, let the simple, powerful truth of I love you flow from your heart. This is not just the habitual phrase said at the end of a phone call. This is the deep, foundational truth of your existence as their parent. Feel the full weight and meaning of those 3 words. Let them carry all the memories of your shared life. I love you means, I remember the feel of your tiny hand in mine. I love you means, I have worried about you every day of your life. I love you means, your happiness is more important to me than my own. I love you means, even when we disagree, even when we are far apart, this love is the bedrock beneath it all. It never changes. Don't just think the words, feel them. Send that complete, unconditional acceptance across the bridge of light. Let them feel it, not as a sound, but as a wave of warmth and safety washing over them. Next, let's send the message, I'm proud of you. This can be a message that gets lost in the day-to-day logistics of life, but it is so vital. Let them know from your heart that you see them. You see the person they have become. You are proud of their struggles, not just their successes. You are proud of their kindness, their resilience, their courage in building their own life, even if it has taken them far from you. Release any lingering disappointments or unmet expectations you may have held. Let them go. In their place, send a pure, undiluted beam of pride and admiration. Say to their heart, I am so proud to be your parent. Watching you navigate your life is one of the greatest joys of mine. Feel the expansive, uplifting energy of this message. Feel how it affirms and strengthens them right where they are. Now, we come to a more difficult but profoundly healing message. I'm sorry. Every long-term relationship has moments of hurt. We are all imperfect. We make mistakes. We say things we don't mean. We fail to show up in the way our loved ones need us to. In the quiet of your own heart, let go of your defenses. Let go of the need to be right. And from a place of true humility and love, send the feeling of, I'm sorry. This isn't about a specific incident, unless there is one that weighs heavily on you. It's a more general, compassionate apology for the ways in which your own human frailties may have caused them pain. It's saying, I'm sorry for the times I was distracted when you needed my attention. I'm sorry for the times my own fears made me critical. I'm sorry for any way in which I have made you feel less than completely loved and cherished. I was doing the best I could, but I know it wasn't always perfect. This message is a powerful solvent for old resentments. It cleanses the energetic space between you, creating room for a deeper, more authentic connection. Send it with love, without expectation. It is a gift you give freely. And finally, the 4th message. Thank you. Let a wave of gratitude flow from your heart to theirs. Thank them for coming into your life and changing it forever. Thank them for the joy, the laughter, the lessons. Thank them for the challenges, which pushed you to grow and become a better version of yourself. Thank them for their love, for their unique spirit, for the simple, profound gift of their existence. Let them feel your deep appreciation for who they are. Thank you for being you. My life is immeasurably richer because you are in it. This message of gratitude completes the circle. It acknowledges the relationship not as a one-way street of parental giving, but as a mutual exchange of love and growth. Take a moment now to just rest in the feeling of this completed communication. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. Thank you. You have said everything that truly matters. You have spoken from the highest and best part of yourself, directly to the highest and best part of them. You can trust that on the level where it counts, on the deep, intuitive, energetic level of the heart. This communication is real. It has been sent. It has been received. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By going through this process, you have given your own nervous system and theirs the gift of a complete and healing conversation. The looping worries can begin to quiet now. The heavy weight of unspoken words can begin to lift. The essential work is done. The heart is clear. And in that clarity, there is peace. There is rest. Allow this feeling of peaceful completion to wash over you, soothing every cell in your body, preparing you for deep, untroubled sleep. There is nothing more to do. The messages have been sent. All is well. With the heart now clear, having spoken its essential truths, we can address one of the greatest sources of our nightly anxiety, the immense pressure we place on a single, future final moment. The mind, in its fear, creates a fantasy of a perfect, cinematic goodbye, a scene where everything is resolved, all love is expressed, and a beautiful, peaceful closure is achieved. And because this perfect moment feels so necessary, the fear of not getting it becomes overwhelming. We place the entire weight of a lifetime of love onto the fragile hope of one last conversation, one last hug. Tonight, we are going to gently and lovingly release ourselves from this impossible expectation. We are going to reframe your relationship, not as a story hurtling toward a final sentence, but as a beautiful, complex, and already complete tapestry woven over a lifetime. Think of your life together with your child as a vast and intricate weaving. The day they were born was the moment the first thread was strung on the loom. And every day since, you have both been weaving. Each shared meal was a thread. Each bedtime story, each drive to school, each argument, each tearful reconciliation, every single interaction, big and small, was another thread woven into the design. Some threads are brilliant gold, shining with moments of pure joy and connection. A shared laugh so hard you couldn't breathe. A quiet moment of comfort on a difficult day. The look of pride you shared at a graduation or a wedding. These golden threads catch the light, and they are beautiful. Other threads are darker, more somber colors. Shades of gray for the times of misunderstanding and conflict. Deep blues for the moments of sadness and worry. Earthy browns for the periods of mundane, everyday routine. These threads are also a vital part of the tapestry. They provide depth, contrast, and strength. A tapestry made only of gold would be blinding and one-dimensional. The darker threads give the golden ones their brilliance. They tell the story of a real human relationship, not a fairy tale. They speak of resilience, of forgiveness, of a love that is strong enough to endure challenges and still hold fast. Now, In your fear, you have become fixated on a single, final thread. You are terrified that this last thread might be gray or black. You are desperately hoping it will be a perfect, shining gold. But I invite you to step back from the loom, pan out, see the entire tapestry at once, from edge to edge. Look at the magnificent, sprawling, complex pattern that has been created over decades. See the waves of color, the intricate designs, the way the light and dark threads weave together to create a picture of breathtaking depth and beauty. From this perspective, can you see how insignificant any single thread truly is? The last thread added does not define the entire work of art. The tapestry's meaning, its beauty, its value, is in its totality. It is the sum of all the threads woven together with the intention of love, day after day, year after year. The true story of your love is not what you might say in a future conversation. The true story has already been told. It lives in the tapestry. It lives inside your child, woven into the very fabric of who they are. The love you poured into them over years is not just a memory. It is a part of their structure. It is in the way they treat others with kindness, because you taught them empathy. It is in their resilience in the face of hardship, because you showed them strength. It is in their capacity to love their own children, because you modeled it for them. That is the real legacy. That is the true story. It is already written. It is already complete. Let's make this an affirmation, a deep, settling truth for your soul. Silently, to yourself, repeat these words. The love I poured into them over years is the true story. It lives inside them always. The tapestry is already complete. Feel the immense relief that comes with this understanding. The pressure is off. You don't have to orchestrate a perfect final scene. You don't have to find the perfect last words. The magnum opus of your love is already finished, and it is magnificent. Any future moments you get to share are simply bonus threads, little grace notes of color added to an already stunning masterpiece. They are a gift, a wonderful, cherished gift, but they are not a requirement for the completion of the work. The work is done. This understanding frees you to be more present in your future interactions. When you are no longer desperately trying to create a perfect memory, you can simply relax and be with them. You can enjoy the mundane conversation about the weather because it's not a test you have to pass. You can navigate a disagreement with more grace because you know it's just one dark thread in a sea of golden ones. You can simply enjoy the miracle of their presence in whatever form it takes, without the crushing weight of expectation. You are free to just love them, moment by moment, without the tyranny of the what-ifs. The tapestry is hanging in the great hall of their heart. It is the backdrop of their life. They see it every day, even when they are not consciously looking at it. They feel its warmth. They draw strength from its patterns. You don't need to add a single thing to it for it to be worthy. It already is. It is a masterpiece of love, woven across a lifetime. Rest in the peace of that completion. Rest in the knowledge that your greatest work is already done, and it is beautiful. Let this image of the finished tapestry be your companion as you drift towards sleep. A vast, rich, and complete story of love. All is well. All is complete. As the piece of the completed tapestry settles over you, let's take a journey back in time, not to analyze or regret, but to remember and reconnect with the unbreakable foundation of your bond. The mind, when it is anxious, tends to focus on recent events. The last conversation, the current distance, the present worries. But the roots of your connection go so much deeper than that. They are anchored in a shared history that is potent, real, and accessible to you at any moment. Tonight, we will journey back to that source to remind your body and your soul of the strength and reality of the love that has always been there. Let's leave the complicated present behind for a little while and travel back along the threads of the tapestry to a time of simple, pure connection. I invite you to let your memory drift, like a leaf on a gentle stream, back to their childhood. Don't force a memory. Just let one surface on its own. It doesn't need to be a major life event, like a birthday or a holiday. In fact, the most powerful memories are often the small, quiet, in-between moments. Perhaps you remember the specific weight of their small body, curled up and asleep on your chest. Can you feel it now? The warmth of their skin, the soft puff of their breath against your neck, the fierce, overwhelming surge of love and protectiveness you felt in that moment. That feeling is not just a memory. It is a physical truth that your body still holds. It is stored in your cellular memory. Let yourself feel it now. That is the foundation. Maybe the memory that comes is a sound, the sound of their laughter, a pure, uninhibited peal of joy as you push them on a swing, higher and higher. Can you hear it? That sound that seemed to make the whole world a brighter place. Let that sound echo in your heart. That joy is a real energy that was created between you, and its resonance is still there, woven into the tapestry forever. It is an unbreakable thread of light. Or perhaps it is a memory of comfort, a time they came to you with a scraped knee or a broken heart, their face streaked with tears. You held them, you rocked them, you whispered that everything would be okay. Do you remember the feeling of their small arms clutching your neck, the way their sobs quieted against your shoulder? In that moment, you were their safe harbor, their entire world of comfort and security. The feeling of being that safe place for them, and the feeling they had of being safe with you. That bond is primordial. It is one of the strongest connections that can exist between two human beings. It doesn't just disappear because they grow up and move away. It becomes the bedrock of their own sense of security in the world. Let this memory, whichever one has come to you, become vivid. Fill in the details. What was the quality of the light in the room? Were there any particular smells in the air? The scent of freshly cut grass, or cookies baking, or the specific shampoo they used? What did their hair feel like under your hand? Engage all of your senses. By doing this, you are not just reminiscing. You are actively reigniting the neurological pathways associated with that deep, foundational love. You are reminding every cell in your body of a time when the bond was simple, physical, and undeniable. Feel the strength of that connection in your body now. Notice how it feels different from the anxious, mental energy of worry. This is a feeling that is grounded, solid, and warm. It is a deep, quiet knowing in your bones that transcends all the complexities of the present moment. This is the truth. The distance is a temporary circumstance. The last conversation is a fleeting detail. This deep, cellular level bond is the permanent reality. This journey is also a way of acknowledging your own resilience and the love you have successfully nurtured through every stage of life. Think of all the challenges you have already navigated together. The sleepless nights of infancy, the turbulent toddler years, the anxieties of adolescence, the painful but necessary process of letting them go into adulthood. You have weathered every one of those storms. Your love has adapted, transformed, and endured. The bond you have today is not a fragile thing that can be broken by a few unanswered phone calls. It is a mighty, time-tested cord that has been strengthened by the very challenges it has faced. You have done this. You have successfully stewarded this incredible love through the decades. Honor yourself for that. Acknowledge the deep strength and wisdom within you that has accomplished this. The fear that visits you at night is a kind of amnesia. It makes you forget the vast, powerful history of your connection. It makes you forget the thousands of threads of love and care and laughter and comfort that you have woven into the tapestry. This journey back in memory is the antidote to that amnesia. It is a conscious act of remembering the truth. So let the warmth of this remembered connection spread through your whole body. Let it be a deep, soothing balm for the ache of distance. The foundation is strong. The roots are deep. The bond is, and has always been, unbreakable. Rest in the deep, physical knowing of this truth. Let it be the ground beneath you, solid and unwavering. No matter how far the ships sail from each other, they were built in the same harbor, from the same wood, by the same loving hands. That shared origin is a truth that can never be undone. You are forever connected. Resting on that solid foundation of remembered connection, we can now cultivate one of the most healing states of mind available to us. Trust. Not a blind hope, not a denial of the sadness of distance, but a deep, quiet, and confident trust that beneath the choppy surface of daily life, your child knows they are loved. This is a shift from the frantic fear of not saying it enough to a quiet confidence that the love was felt and integrated long, long ago. It's a trust in the work you have already done, the love you have already given, and the profound intelligence of the human heart. Let's explore what it means to truly trust in this way. For years, you were the primary source of their sense of self. Your voice was the one that told them they were good, they were capable, they were worthy. Your arms were the physical proof that they were safe and cherished. You were building their inner home, brick by brick, with your love and attention. Think of all the thousands of acts of love, both big and small. Every meal you cooked, every story you read, every time you showed up for a school play or a sporting event, every hug, every word of encouragement. Each of these was not a fleeting moment that disappeared. Each was a deposit into a deep, internal bank account of love within your child. You spent 18 years or more making these deposits, consistently, day in and day out. That account has accrued a vast and unshakable wealth of love. It is their core emotional capital. It is what they draw upon in times of stress. It is the foundation of their ability to form healthy relationships. It is the quiet background hum of self-worth that allows them to navigate the world. They may not be consciously thinking about it every day. They may be preoccupied with their careers, their own families, their own struggles. But the wealth is there. The knowing is in their bones. The fear that visits you at night is the fear that this account has somehow been depleted, that the distance or a recent argument has made a massive withdrawal. But the truth is, the deposits of a lifetime are not so easily spent. The foundation is too deep, too strong. We must shift our perspective from thinking of love as something that needs to be constantly proven with words, to understanding love as a state of being that has been permanently transmitted and integrated. Your love is not an external object they might lose. It is a part of who they are now. It is in their nervous system. It is in their emotional reflexes. It is in the very architecture of their personality. Just as they have your eyes or your smile, they have your love woven into their being. You don't have to keep reminding them they have blue eyes. They know. In the same way, you don't have to live in constant fear that they have forgotten they are loved. They know. It is a fundamental background truth of their existence. Let's use an affirmation to strengthen this sense of trust. Let this be a new belief that you offer to your heart. Silently, repeat these words and feel their deep, calming truth. My love is a part of who they are. It is in their bones, their heart, their memory. I can trust what is already known. Feel the release in that. You are letting go of the exhausting job of constantly having to prove your love, and you are resting in the peace of knowing it has already been received and integrated. This doesn't mean you stop saying, "I love you." It means that when you say it, it comes from a place of joyful expression, not from a place of anxious fear. It is a beautiful grace note, not a desperate attempt to shore up a crumbling foundation. The foundation is solid. Cultivating this trust requires a gentle letting go of control. The fear often comes from a feeling of powerlessness. Because they are far away, you can't see them. You can't fix their problems. You can't physically be there to show your love. Trust is the antidote to this feeling. It is the recognition that the most important work has already been done. You have already given them the most important gift, the deep, unshakable, internalized knowing that they are loved unconditionally. That gift is now theirs. It is inside them. They will never lose it, and it will protect them and guide them in ways you can't even see. Trusting this is an act of profound respect for your child. It is trusting that they are intelligent enough to know they are loved. It is trusting that they have the capacity to hold on to that knowing, even when life gets busy. It is treating them as the capable, whole adults they have become. Think about it from their perspective. Do you doubt your own mother's or father's love simply because you don't talk every single day? Or is it a fundamental truth you carry with you, a known fact of your life, regardless of recent contact? For most of us, it is the latter. We can extend the same grace and understanding to our own children. They are living their lives as they must, but they are living them from within the home of love that you built for them. They are never truly outside of it. So let the anxious part of your mind relax its grip. Let the constant need for external validation soften. Settle into a deeper, quieter state of knowing. The love is there. The bond is secure. The message has been received, and it is now a permanent part of the receiver. You can trust this. You can rest in this. Let this trust be the soft pillow on which you lay your head tonight. There is no emergency. The house of love is safe and sound. The connection is secure. All is well. Let your breath deepen, and with each exhale, let go of a little more of the need to worry, the need to control. And with each inhale, breathe in the calm, quiet confidence of trust. Trust in them. Trust in your love. And trust in the beautiful, unbreakable bond you have woven together over a lifetime. Having cultivated this deep trust in the love that is already known, we arrive at a place of profound wisdom and peace. This is the place where we can finally make peace with imperfection. For so much of our lives, especially as parents, We are driven by a desire for things to be perfect. We want the perfect childhood for our kids, the perfect holidays, the perfect conversations, the perfect relationship. We strive for a storybook narrative, one without conflict, distance, or misunderstanding. And when reality inevitably falls short of this ideal, it can feel like a failure. The fear that visits you in the night is often fueled by this perfectionism. The fear that your imperfect relationship is a broken one, that the messy reality of your connection is not good enough. Tonight, we will gently release this need for a perfect storybook ending and instead find a deep and abiding peace in the reality of a love that is true, even with, and perhaps because of, its flaws. Let's be honest about the nature of all deep and meaningful relationships. They are not smooth, polished stones. They are rugged, textured landscapes with soaring peaks of joy, deep valleys of sorrow, winding rivers of change, and dense forests of misunderstanding. To love another human being over the course of a lifetime is to navigate this complex terrain together. There will be times you are perfectly in sync, walking hand in hand on a sunny path. And there will be times you are on opposite sides of a mountain, unable to see or hear each other clearly. This is not a sign of failure. This is a sign of a real relationship. A storybook love, with no conflict or distance, is a fantasy. It is a two-dimensional drawing. Your love, with all its complexities and challenges, is a three-dimensional, living, breathing reality. It has depth. It has character. It has strength that has been forged in the fires of imperfection. Think of a beautiful, ancient tree. Its trunk is not a perfect, smooth cylinder. It is gnarled and twisted. Its bark is rough, scarred by storms it has weathered, by branches that have been lost. And yet, it is these very imperfections that give the tree its character, its beauty, and its strength. The twists in the trunk tell the story of its resilience, its ability to bend without breaking. The scars in the bark are a testament to its endurance. It is magnificent, not in spite of its imperfections, but because of them. Your relationship is like this tree. The arguments you've had, the periods of distance, the misunderstandings, these are not flaws in the story. They are the marks of a love that has lived, that has weathered storms, and that is still standing, its roots deep in the earth. Releasing the need for perfection is an act of profound grace, both for your child and for yourself. It means you can let them be fully human, with their own flaws, their own busy lives, their own occasional thoughtlessness. You can love the person they actually are, not the idealized version you wish they would be. And just as importantly, you can let yourself be fully human. You can forgive yourself for not being the perfect parent. You can let go of the shoulds and shouldn't haves. You were never meant to be a flawless character in a fairy tale. You were meant to be a real person, loving another real person in the messy, beautiful, complicated real world. And you have done that. What a courageous and beautiful thing that is. Let's honor the entire journey, not just the highlight reel. Honor the difficult conversations, for they taught you both about boundaries and forgiveness. Honor the periods of distance, for they allowed your child the space to become their own person. Honor the mundane, everyday moments, for they were the steady, quiet weaving that created the fabric of your bond. Honor the joy, the challenges, the closeness, and the separation. All of it. It is all part of a whole and complete story. When you can look at the whole tapestry with its light and dark threads and say, "This is our story, and it is beautiful because it is real." Then you have found true peace. You have moved beyond the childish need for fairy tales and have stepped into the mature, expansive wisdom of accepting life as it is. This acceptance doesn't mean you stop wanting to connect. It doesn't mean the sadness of missing them disappears. It means that the sadness is no longer laced with the poison of judgment and failure. The sadness can just be sadness, a clean and simple expression of your love. You can miss them deeply while simultaneously holding a deep peace about the fundamental rightness of your relationship. The two can coexist. In fact, this is the very essence of emotional maturity, the ability to hold two seemingly contradictory feelings at once. I can feel sad about the distance, and I can feel at peace with our bond. I can wish we spoke more often, and I can trust that our connection is secure. Finding peace in the reality of your love, flaws and all, is like coming home. You stop striving, stop struggling, stop trying to fix what was never truly broken. You simply rest in the truth of what is, and what is a lifetime of love. A bond forged in the real world. A connection that is strong enough to hold all the beautiful, messy imperfections of being human. This is a love that is far more powerful, far more resilient, and far more meaningful than any perfect storybook fantasy. It is true, it is yours, and it is enough. Let this deep, quiet acceptance be your final resting place for the night. Let go of the struggle for perfection. Embrace the beautiful, rugged, authentic landscape of your love. There is a profound and unshakable peace, to be found there. Rest in that peace now. Rest in the wisdom of imperfection. Your love story is not flawed. It is simply, beautifully, and completely real. As we settle into this deep acceptance of the beautiful, imperfect reality of your love, a profound sense of integration can begin. This is the part of our journey where the insights we have gathered are no longer just ideas we are considering, but truths that we begin to feel in our bodies and in our very being. It is the feeling of coming home to ourselves, of laying down a heavy burden that we have carried for far too long. The heart's most urgent work for tonight is done. Let's take a few moments to consciously integrate the peace that has been cultivated through our time together. Recall the journey we have been on. We began by naming the specific fear that rises in the dark, giving it a name and witnessing it without judgment. We then explored the weight of the last conversation, seeing the looping regrets not as a sign of failure, but as a testament to the depth of our love. We reframed the fear itself, understanding it not as a weakness, but as a direct measure of the magnificent love in our hearts. We released the crushing weight of self-blame by acknowledging the complex map of life that creates distance. We gave ourselves the precious gift of permission to grieve, allowing the cleansing waves of sadness to move through us. And from that clear space, we built a bridge of light, a tangible, energetic connection to our child's heart, using it to send the 4 healing messages. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. And thank you. We then zoomed out to see the entire relationship as a vast, completed tapestry, releasing the pressure of a single, final moment. We journeyed back in time to reconnect with the unbreakable, foundational bond of love stored in our cellular memory. We cultivated a deep trust in the love that is already known. And finally, we found a profound peace in the beautiful imperfection of it all. Each of these steps has been a deliberate act of healing. Each has been a gentle rewiring of the neural pathways of fear into pathways of peace, trust, and love. Now, it is time to simply rest in the result of that work. Notice the feeling of lightness that is present now. It may be subtle, but it is there. It is the lightness that comes from letting go of a long and exhausting struggle. For so long, your nights may have been a battleground, a fight against fear, a struggle with regret, an argument with reality. Tonight, you have signed a peace treaty with your own heart. You have laid down your weapons. You have chosen compassion over conflict. Feel the quiet that this peace brings. It is not an empty quiet. It is a full, resonant quiet, filled with the presence of a deep and settled love. The heart's work is done because the most important messages have been sent. In the quiet court of your own soul, you have spoken your truth. You have clarified your intentions. You have offered your love, your pride, your apologies, and your gratitude freely and without condition. You can trust that this energetic communication is complete. There is a part of you and a part of them that operates beyond the conscious mind. This is the part that understands the language of the heart. On this level, the reconciliation is complete. The love has been affirmed. You can now lay that need to rest for the night. You don't have to keep restating your case to the anxious committee in your mind. When the looping thoughts of if only or what if arise, you can now meet them with a gentle, confident response. Thank you for your concern, but that has been handled. The messages have been sent. All is well. Feel this sense of completion in your physical body. Notice how the muscles in your shoulders and neck can soften even more. Notice how your jaw can release its final grip. Notice how your breathing has become slower, deeper, more rhythmic. Your body understands when a struggle is over. It knows how to shift from a state of high alert into a state of deep rest and repair. You are giving it the signal now that it is safe to do so. The emotional threat has been neutralized, not by fighting it, but by understanding it, holding it with compassion, and integrating its lessons. This is the essence of true healing. It is not about eliminating the parts of us that are afraid or sad. It is about creating a loving, internal space that is large enough to hold all parts of our experience with grace. The lightness you feel also comes from trusting in the timeless nature of your bond. The anxiety you felt was rooted in a fear of time, the fear of time running out. But the connection you have explored and strengthened tonight is not subject to time. It exists in the eternal now of the heart. The love you felt when they were a child and the love you feel for them now are the same love, existing simultaneously in the vast tapestry. The energetic bridge you created is instantaneous. It is always on, always available. By shifting your focus from the linear, ticking clock of the mind to the timeless, spacious reality of the heart, you have stepped out of the river of anxiety and onto the solid bank of peace. From this place, you can rest. You can truly, deeply rest, knowing that the most essential thing, the love, is secure. It is whole. It is complete. It is safe from the ravages of time and the challenges of distance. Let this feeling of integrated peace be the dominant sensation as you prepare for sleep. There is nothing left to figure out, nothing left to solve. The work is done. The heart is at ease. You have found your way back to the simple, unshakable truth of your love. Allow this truth to hold you, to comfort you, and to carry you gently into the healing sanctuary of sleep. Now, as this integrated peace settles into your very bones, it is time to let go of all conscious thought and effort. The journey of the mind is complete. We have explored, we have understood, and we have healed. Now, we begin the gentle descent into the body, into the quiet wisdom of deep physical relaxation. This is the final preparation for sleep, a sacred transition from doing to being, from thinking to feeling. Sleep is a natural continuation of the peace you have cultivated. It is a letting go into a state of profound safety and care. There is nothing to force. Your only task is to allow. Bring your awareness to your feet. Feel the weight of them, the warmth of the blankets around them. Consciously give them permission to let go. Release all the tension from your toes, your arches, your heels. Your feet have carried you through so many days, have walked so many miles on this journey of life. They have earned their rest. Imagine a wave of gentle, warm relaxation beginning at the tips of your toes and slowly flowing upward, like a warm tide coming in. This wave of relaxation moves into your ankles, soothing the joints, releasing any tightness. It flows up into your calves and shins, melting away the tension in the muscles. Let your lower legs become heavy, limp, and completely at ease. The warm, heavy wave of relaxation continues to flow upward into your knees and thighs. These large, strong muscles have worked so hard. Let them go now. Feel them becoming soft, spreading out against the mattress. Release the hips, letting go of any clenching in the deep muscles there. Feel your entire lower body, from the hips down, becoming wonderfully heavy, deeply relaxed, and sinking gently into the support beneath you. You are safe. You are held. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just this gentle, pleasant heaviness. Now, let this soothing wave of relaxation flow into your abdomen and lower back. This is an area where we often hold so much worry and tension. Let it all dissolve now. Allow your stomach to be soft. Let the muscles of your lower back release their grip. Imagine the wave flowing up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, soothing every muscle along the way. As it reaches your chest and upper back, feel your shoulders releasing even more, melting down and away from your ears. Feel the space around your heart, once tight with grief, now open, soft, and peaceful. Let each breath be a gentle massage for your internal organs, a quiet rhythm of calm. The warm wave of relaxation now flows down your arms. Feel it moving from your shoulders into your biceps and triceps, down through your elbows, into your forearms. Let it pool in your wrists and hands. Uncurl your fingers. Let your hands rest, open and receptive. Your hands have given so much in this life. They have held, comforted, built, and cared. Now it is their turn to be held, to receive this gift of deep rest. Feel your arms, heavy and warm, completely still. Finally, allow this gentle, healing wave to flow up into your neck and head. Release the muscles at the back of your neck, a place that holds so much strain. Let your jaw be completely slack. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes and mouth. Smooth out the space between your eyebrows. Let your entire scalp relax. And finally, let your brain itself feel as if it is floating, suspended in a warm, quiet sea of peace. Your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, is now in a state of deep, profound relaxation. And in this state of deep physical peace, I invite you to create one final, comforting image to carry you into sleep. Imagine that you are floating, not in water, but in a vast, warm, gentle sea of love. This is the sea of all the love you have ever given in your entire life. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every hug, every patient moment, all of that loving energy has not disappeared. It has accumulated, creating this vast, buoyant, supportive medium. And now you get to rest in it. Feel it holding you. Feel its warmth, its unconditional acceptance. This sea is also made of all the love you have ever received. The love of your own parents, of your friends, of your partners, and yes, the immense love your own children have for you. It is all here, a boundless ocean of care. You don't have to swim, you don't have to struggle, you just have to float. The sea of love holds you completely. It rocks you gently with its rhythm. It whispers to you that you are good, that you have done enough, that you are worthy of this profound rest. Let go into its embrace. Feel the absolute safety of being held by the very love that you have created. It is a perfect, self-sustaining circle of grace. Every fear dissolves in this warm sea. Every worry is smoothed away by its gentle currents. There is only the feeling of being held, of being safe, of being home. Sleep is just the natural next step. It is allowing yourself to sink a little deeper into this sea of love, to let its quiet, dark, healing waters close over you, carrying you down into the restorative silence of deep, dreamless rest. There is nothing to fear. You are simply returning to the source. You are letting go into the arms of love itself. Just allow this feeling of being held, supported, and loved to be your entire reality now. Let go of my voice. Let go of all words, and just float on this calm, warm, endless sea of love as it carries you effortlessly toward the shores of a deep and healing sleep. And so, you drift. There is no longer a you that is trying, a you that is listening, or a you that is remembering. All effort has dissolved. You are simply a presence, a gentle awareness, floating in a boundless ocean of peace. The boundaries of your body begin to soften, melting into the warmth that surrounds you. It becomes difficult to tell where you end and where the sea of love begins. And that is perfectly all right. There is no need to know. There is only this feeling of being part of something vast, gentle, and eternal. The currents of this ocean are slow and ancient and wise. They are carrying you now, not to a destination, but into a state of being, a state of pure rest. You can feel the gentle pull, a soft, irresistible invitation to let go completely, to surrender the last remnants of the day, the last echoes of thought, the last vestiges of worry. They are like small grains of sand, slipping through your fingers, sinking into the deep, silent abyss below. And all that is left is the clear, warm, peaceful water. The questions that seemed so urgent just a short while ago, they are no longer important. The mind that searched for answers can finally be still. What is love, if not this feeling of being held without condition? What is connection, if not this silent, peaceful communion? The answers are not found in words, but in this feeling, this deep, quiet knowing. You have found your way back to the language of the soul, which is silence and presence and peace. Imagine, as you drift deeper, that the surface of the water above you is shimmering with a soft, silvery moonlight. It is the light of all your memories, all your shared moments, the entire beautiful tapestry of your life. It is there. It is safe. But you are drifting beneath it now, down into the dark, quiet depths where healing happens, where the body rebuilds, where the mind is cleansed, and where the spirit is restored. This darkness is not empty or frightening. It is the rich, fertile darkness of the womb, of deep earth, of a starless midnight sky in the countryside. It is a darkness that is full of potential, full of peace. It is the home of sleep. A thought may arise, a whisper from the old familiar mind, but you don't have to follow it. You can just watch it, like a single bubble rising from the depths, floating up, and gently popping on the surface far above. It is gone, and all that remains is the deep, silent, calm. You are the quiet water. You are the deep peace. Each breath is a slow, gentle tide, pulling you further and further away from the shore of wakefulness, further into the healing embrace of sleep. There is a trust that forms in this deep place, a trust that all is unfolding as it should, a trust that the love you have given is a permanent force in the universe, and a trust that you, yourself, are worthy of this profound rest. Nothing is asked of you here. You do not need to be strong. You do not need to be brave. You only need to be. To allow yourself to be carried, to be held, to be healed. Sleep is a kindness you offer yourself, a profound act of self-love. It is the ultimate letting go, the final surrender to the grace that is always available, always waiting for you in the quiet of the night. You are so close now, on the very edge of that beautiful, restorative oblivion. Feel the gentle tipping point, the moment of surrender, as the last thread of conscious thought lets go. There is nothing more to do. Just allow. Just rest. Sleep is here for you now, safe and sound.